What is going on, you beautiful people? I wanted to jump on here and talk about integrity and why it's so important that when you say you are going to do something or not do something, you need to follow through with that. Your words need to match your actions. So a lot of the time, people have a massive disconnect from their words and their actions, right? They say they're going to do something, they say they're going to stop doing something, and they just don't follow through with it. It's all talk. Now, obviously, this is a negative thing, and on a surface level, people know that this is something which is, something that should be improved on. But on a much deeper level, I want to talk about some of the things that it decays and some of the deeper detriments that it causes to one's individual experience. The main one, and the first one that I'll naturally discuss, is self-trust. When you constantly break your own word, when you constantly don't follow through with what you say you're going to do, eventually you get to a point where you don't trust yourself anymore. You say you're going to do this, you say you're going to do that, you say you're going to do this, blah, 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 but you don't even believe you anymore. And that's because you have a string of experiences, you have all these past references where you didn't follow through with your word. So even to you, your word doesn't mean shit. Now, this is a massive thing, especially like in individuals who value integrity. Okay, if you have a value of integrity and you're constantly living out of alignment with that value, you're going to feel like shit about yourself because you're not living up to your values. But even if you don't have a core value of integrity and you just in general are breaking your word consistently, even then still you're going to feel bad about yourself. You're going to take hits to your self-esteem, to your self-trust, as I mentioned, to your self-confidence, to your self-respect. All these things are taking hits when you don't follow through with what you say you're going to do. So a good principle to take on is your word needs to be ironclad. If it comes out of your mouth, if you say you're going to do it, you have to follow through with that. Because the more that you betray yourself in terms of not following through with what you say you're going to do, the more you weaken this connection between words and actions. The more you allow yourself to get away with shit, which you shouldn't be allowing yourself to get away with, right? Like, let's use an example. Start of the day. You're feeling excited, motivated for the day ahead. You say, after work, I'm hitting the gym, right? Awesome. Great intention. End of the day comes, right? You're a little bit tired. You're, maybe had a bit of a bad day at work. You're feeling a little bit depleted, right? It comes time to go to the gym. This is the moment. This is the moment where you have the opportunity to follow through with your word or break it. This is the moment where you have the opportunity to increase your self-trust, your self-respect, your self-worth, your self-confidence. This is the moment where you have the opportunity to either build up the integrity within yourself or tear it down. And most people give in to the little voice which says, don't worry about it. We went to the gym yesterday. We'll go to the gym tomorrow. We don't have to train that much. It's sweet. I'm tired. How about I just do this instead? Just the justifying mind. Just the fucking pure justifications that weakness within us will try and spew out and cause us to fall off our path, to break our word. But I'm here to tell you today that it is so important that you keep the word, that you keep doing what you say that you were going to do long after the feeling has left you. Okay, that is a thing in and of itself, right? A lot of people are so motivated and so driven in the moment. They set these big goals, right? They set this big intent. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, this is what I'm going to accomplish, etc. They say all these amazing things, but then when it comes time to actually executing on doing those things, where's that same energy? It's gone, right? Because the emotion that was driving it is no longer there. But the thing is, you need to be able to do what you said you were going to do long after the emotion has left you. Okay, that is the whole principle of discipline. Okay, you're not always going to feel like doing it. You're not always going to feel motivated and energized and hyped up to do exactly what you set out to do. But you made a deal with yourself. You made a deal with yourself and you cannot break that. Because if you break that deal you made with yourself, you communicate to your subconscious mind, let alone to the people around you, but let's stick with our relationship with ourselves for now. You communicate to yourself, your subconscious mind specifically, that you are able to be let off the hook. Now, it might not happen in one instance, it might not happen in two, but it's death by 1,000 cuts, okay? It's these small little instances where you allowed yourself off the hook, where you gave into that justifying mind, where you just allowed excuses to take over And now you have weakened your integrity. You've weakened your self-respect, your self-confidence. All these things are going down. Everyone wants to have such strong self-confidence, such strong self-respect, to be able to look at themselves in the mirror and be like, I'm genuinely proud of who is looking back. But very few people are willing to do what it takes. And a big part of cultivating these, extraordinary levels, let's call it what it is, because most people have fuck all self-confidence, fuck all self-respect. They're just literally like shells of individuals. They have none of these inequalities because they're living in a way which is always destroying them. But if you want that, if you want those extraordinary levels of internal traits and, all that confidence and that self-respect, you need to do what's necessary. And it's not going to be easy all the time, and you're not going to want to do it all the time, but it's not even about the action. This is like such a key point here. It's not about going to the gym. It's not about not eating that cheat meal. It's not about, I don't know, what other problems you make, what other promises are you making with yourself? It's not about the promise itself in most cases. It's about what the promise does to your internal world. Yes, sure, the promise obviously has some level of importance, so you wouldn't have said it. But what's more important than the actual promise is what it's going to do to you if you follow through with it or if you don't follow through with it. Death by a thousand cuts. If you constantly say you're going to do something, you constantly say you're not going to do something, and you are doing the opposite of what you say you're going to do, how do you expect to respect yourself? How do you expect to have self-confidence? How do you expect to trust yourself? You can lie to the entire world. You can create this big facade of, I'm this person, I do these things, I'm on top of everything, blah, blah, blah. But you cannot lie to yourself. At the end of the day, when your head hits that pillow and you're closing your eyes and heading to sleep, you know what you did, you know what you didn't do, and you pay for that spiritually. You're either going to go to sleep feeling accomplished and proud of yourself, or you're going to go to sleep feeling defeated and ashamed because of the choices you made on a moment-to-moment basis. So take this video as a message, as a sign to start living with more integrity in your life. It is such a small thing, keeping your word. It is so small because you are setting your own level of difficulty, right? What I mean by that is I'm not on this, video or podcast telling you that you need to do these things. I'm not saying you need to hit the gym every day and eat insanely clean and be the most disciplined, militant person on earth. No, I'm not saying you need to do that. You set your standards. Whatever your standards are for you, which makes you feel like, you're living as the best version of you, you set that for yourself. All I'm saying is follow through with your words, okay? Whatever comes out of your mouth, you need to execute on. You need to take action on. Because it's everything. It is everything, especially if you're a man. Like, it applies to women as well, but for a man's word is his bond. That comes out of his mouth, he needs to do that, no matter what. For himself, like literally for his own self-esteem. When a man doesn't trust himself, you can see it in his eyes, man. It's like, it's hard to explain, but it's like the lights are on but no one's home. That's how it feels. There's not an energy of execution there. You can sense that he doesn't follow through with what he says he's going to do. And, also on a basis of relationships with other people as well, whether you're a man or a woman or whatever, when people around you pick up on the fact that you don't follow through with what you say you're going to do, you start to build a little bit of a reputation of being all talk, okay? People are like, yeah, he says he's going to do this, she says she's going to do that, she's never actually going to do it. She's been saying that shit for years. He's been saying he's going to hit the gym for years. She's been saying she's going to, start that business for years. People start to pick up on things, right? We are creatures of pattern recognition. When we realize that someone is just all talk, we're like, we just naturally start to doubt them. We naturally start to not believe in their words. And that's not because we're judgmental, creatures who are so sinister and evil. No, that's just because it's reality. We're going off past references. That's how we, we gather information and then we sort of create a predictable future from that information of past references. So when you're constantly saying to people, oh yeah, I'm going to start the gym, I'm going to do this business, I'm going to do this, and you don't do anything, they're just like, fuck off, bro. You're all talk. You're not doing shit. You are not doing fucking shit. And yeah, why would they think otherwise? If you have given them nothing but proof that you are all talk, why would they think otherwise? The same with yourself. If you have given yourself nothing but proof that you are all talk, why would you believe otherwise? And especially, I was going to touch on this particular topic here. If you're a man and you are, in a relationship with a woman, a core feminine need is safety. Okay. Now, when men think safety, they think, oh, I need to protect her, whatever. But yes, protection is absolutely an element of safety, of fulfilling that core feminine need. And there's other things as well. But also, a core thing is integrity. If a woman starts to pick up on the fact that you aren't a man who lives with integrity, meaning your words don't match up with your actions, that is a lack of safety. That creates a void of safety. It's not just about protection. It's not just about provision. It's also about what you do or don't do. If you, let's start real simple, real basic. If you say you're going to mow the lawn on Saturday comes around, she knows, she remembers. Women aren't stupid. And you say you're going to mow the lawn on Saturday comes around. You didn't mow the lawn. And then it might be getting to the end of Saturday and she might say, oh, are you gonna mow the lawn like you said you would? And you said, yeah, I'll do it. Like, get off my back, get off my case. She's like, all right, just trying to remind you. And then you don't do it. She's like, oh, okay. Slowly but surely you're chipping away at, firstly, her respect for you, because we tend to respect people who are living with integrity, but also the safety she can feel with you. The safety of your word. It starts with the small things. You say you're going to mow the lawn, you don't do it, she doesn't feel safe. You say you're going to, pick up the kids from practice at this time, you're late or you don't pick them up. You say you're going to plan a date for her, for you guys, and then you don't plan it. Again, you're just chipping away at that, right? Now, in terms of rebuilding this stuff and actually becoming a man of true integrity, start out small. Don't start with a massive task that's going to overwhelm you and cause you to fucking essentially fail and become defeated. Start small. Start by saying you're going to, clean up your sock drawer. Honestly, start that small. Start literally that small with the smallest task. Or say you're going to make your bed. Make your bed. Clean up the sock drawer. Cool, you got 2 little wins. Now you're building momentum. Now you're building past references in your mind that you are who you say you are. And this is how you cultivate it. It's like the gym, right? Progressive overload. You don't go from the 12 kilo dumbbells straight to the 30s when you're doing bicep curls. No, you work up and it takes time, right? But eventually you're curling 30s like nothing because you've built up over time. Now, the same way with integrity, you're not going to just wake up tomorrow and be the most disciplined, militant, integrous man on earth. Probably not. If you can do that, by all means, more power to you. I'm happy for you. But in most cases, it's going to be small, little, progressive, incremental steps. Make the bed, clean up the sock drawer. I don't know, what else are you going to do? Maybe do the dishes, right? Then maybe consider going to the gym. Start at the gym and then read the book that you've had on the shelf for 5 years that you said you're going to read. And then you can work up to bigger things. Build the business. Get your first client. Start diving into different realms of development. Like, the more integrity you can live with, the more power you have. I'll use myself as an example here, not because I'm trying to boast, but just because integrity is really one of my strong points that I've built up over the years. Wasn't born with it, no one really is. I just have built it and cultivated over the years. If I say I'm going to do something, it absolutely fucking gets done. I don't care if it's late. I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care about any of these other justifying excuses that the mind tends to project in moments of, temptation to not do the thing. If I say I'm going to do something, it gets done. And what that does for me is it keeps me in a state of knowing that my word is my bond. If I say that I'm going to make this video at this time, I'm going to do it. That's it. Regardless of how I'm feeling, regardless of what's happening, I'm going to do it. Integrity is one of the best things you can cultivate, because if you can just cultivate integrity, you get so many natural byproducts that come from that, which are so beneficial, right? So you're going to get, naturally, if you just cultivate integrity, you're going to get self-respect, self-confidence, self-trust, self-love, which is sort of tied into self-respect and self-confidence. You're also going to get your overall state of being is going to increase. Your energy is going to increase. I don't want to use the word fucking aura, but honestly, when you trust yourself more and you know that you do what you say you're going to do, and you know that you're an executor, and you know that you are genuinely living in integrity, you walk around with a different sort of energy to you. You walk around with an energy of knowing that you are a man or a woman who is someone who sticks to their fucking word. You cannot fake that. You genuinely cannot fake that. The energy and the confidence that comes from being an individual of integrity cannot be faked. And you know, you can pick it up on others too. I definitely can. Like, when someone says to me, oh yeah, man, I've been doing this, I literally like dive deeper. I'm like, have you really, bro? Like, be honest with me here. Because you can pick up on it. A lot of the time the eyes will shift, like the eyes will look away, you know, because shame tends to make us avoid eye contact. So when someone is like, you know, trying to say they're doing something and they're not doing it, this is literally how they'll talk. Yeah, man, yeah, I've been doing it. Yeah, I've been hitting the gym. Yeah, real consistent, man. Yeah, and I've been staying away from those bad habits that I said I would as well. Yeah, like you can literally notice they're scared to make eye contact with you. So I bring that point up not because I'm saying you need to psychoanalyze every single individual and if they're telling the truth. No, but just show up for yourself in integrity. Start living with more discipline. Start living with a word that's unbroken, and you'll be baffled, genuinely baffled at how much of a positive impact it has on your self-esteem, on your self-worth, on how you view yourself, on everything. It is one of the biggest leverage points we can pull to enhance our overall experience. And it starts within. I always say that. It all starts within. You do the little things, you cultivate the internal world, it projects outward. And then what you are embodying, it's what you're going to attract and experience with other people. Okay, if other people know you're a person of integrity, of discipline, of genuine self-respect, they're going to treat you like that as well. But if they see that you're an individual who's constantly breaking their word, constantly, you know, not doing what they say they're going to do, or constantly engaging in shit they said they would stop engaging in, they're just like, this guy's all talk. He's just bullshit dribbling out of his mouth. He never follows through with anything. You don't want to be that person. You want to be the individual who has ironclad integrity. Okay, so guys, I hope you got a ton of value from this video, and I hope it has inspired you to start living with more integrity yourself. As I said, start small. You don't have to make massive jumps. Start small, incrementally build it up, and then reap the rewards of that. If you guys are interested in coaching with me one-on-one, my community, anything like that, feel free to reach out to me on my Instagram, which is just my name, so Ricky Gorsey. And yeah, reach out, we can have a convo, and I will talk to you there. But guys, thank you. If you like the video, give it a like. If you got value from it, subscribe, and also share it with some of your friends if you want. That's what helps me grow the channel and allows me to keep making videos like this. I'll see you on the next one.